Hello everyone, myself Shivani Kumari. Welcome to our channel. Today we are discussing the very first lecture in medicinal botany. In this paper, we will explore how plants have been used as medicines since ancient times, how our ancestors identified, classified, and utilized them for healing, and how that knowledge has evolved into modern herbal science. Basically, medicinal botany helps us to understand not just what plants do for us, but also how traditional systems of medicine like Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani have shaped India's medical heritage. Here is the roadmap for our today's session. We will be covering the following topics. Like the first one is the history of medicine in India, how medicinal plant use began and developed. Second, scope and importance of medicinal plants, why they still matter today. We will get to know about more about this. Third one is indigenous and medicinal sciences, how our traditional healing system works. Fourth one is Ayurveda, the definition, scope, history, and origin, everything about the Ayurveda. Then there will be core Ayurvedic principles like Panch Mahabhutas, Saptadhatus, Tridoshas. Like Panch Mahabhutas is about the five great elements, and the Panch Mahabhutas name itself explains about the nature of the topic. Another one is Saptadhatu, the seven body tissues, which is out of which our body is made up of. Three doshas, the three vital energies that maintain our health. By the end of this lecture, you should understand how deeply connected our bodies are with nature, especially through medicinal plants. Now get deeper into the history of medicine in India. The history of medicine in India is as old as the civilization itself. As we discuss more about this, the earliest references come from our Vedas, the sacred texts that also contain descriptions of diseases, cures, and medicinal herbs. If we talk about the Rig Veda, which was between 4500 to 1600 BC, about 67 medicinal plants were mentioned. These were probably used for treating common ailments and maintaining health. For maintaining health. Another one is the Atharva Veda, which was between 2000 to 1500 BC. The number increased to around 290 plants, indicating that people had developed a deeper understanding of medicinal flora. Later, during the classical period, two great soldiers who were Charak around 1000 BC and Shushrut around 800 BC listed nearly 700 plant species used for therapeutic purposes. Means these were the both great scholars who told us about many of the things. One was father of medicine, one was father of surgery. So these two combinedly gave us a very vast data to study about. To also their practices had a lot of things to tell us. They were recorded in the Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita, two foundational texts of Ayurveda. That means that these were the two books which told us about many things like about our body, about the elements that can affect our body, and many more like that. During the Buddhist period 1550 to 470 BC, monasteries served as centers of medical learning, and Buddhist monks spread herbal medicine to countries like Sri Lanka, China, and Tibet. Even outside India, ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamian, Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrian cultures used plants as medicine, proving that herbal healing was a global practice. Modern scholars later documented this heritage, like there was Dr. U.C. Datta who wrote Materia Medica of Hindus in 1877. Then there was Chopra 1933. He mentioned about 225 medicinal plants in his writing. Kirtikar and Basu in 1935 they expanded it to 604 medicinal plants, and finally there was Chopra et al. 1956 and 1969 compiled a glossary describing nearly 1800 Indian medicinal plants. So India's medicine tradition has a continuous timeline from Vedic age to modern science. If we talk about the scope and importance of medicinal plant, then we should look at why medicinal plants are so important both traditionally and scientifically. Like, there is traditional use. India has around 7500 wild plant species known for medicinal uses, and about 950 are still being studied for new therapeutic properties. Then there is scientific importance also. Roughly 300 species have been scientifically analyzed for drug discovery. Some well known example including Rovelfia serpentina, which is a source of reserpine used in blood pressure control. Then there is Cataranthus roseus, which is a rich source of vincristine and vinblastine, which is an anti-cancer drug. Papaver somniferum, which is a source of morphine, which is a pain reliever. Then also the plant drugs have some advantages. These advantages could be like, generally they are safe and natural. They have fewer side effects than synthetic drugs, like we use allopathic drugs currently in modern science. But if we talk about the plant drugs, then they have very fewer side effects in comparison to these synthetic drugs, often more affordable and locally available. Then what could be the economic significance? We have talked about the advantages, we talked about the traditional use, scientific value. Then what is the economic significance of these medicinal plant? So according to WHO, over 80% of the world's population still depends on plant based medicine. India exports of medicinal plants rose from 446 crores in 2000 to an estimated 3000 crores in 2005. China, in comparison, exported over 18,000 to 22,000 crores of plant based medicine. Some major exports plants from India include uh, aconite, aloe, belladonna, senna, cinchona, digitalis, isabgol. These are some of the major export plants, the genus of the plant that are exported outside India. Then there are some challenges also which comes across during the export or the cultivation and everything. However, there are also some issues like over harvesting from wild sources, like 95% of raw materials still come from the wild. Adulteration of plant material, it can be adulterated. Misidentification due to lack of standardization, since there is standardization is still needed to be improved. That's why there are chances that a plant can be misidentified. This shows that while medicinal plants are vital, we must also ensure sustainable use and conservation. We have to conserve all the plants that are useful as the medicine. Then there is a wide concept, that is indigenous medicinal plant. The discovery of medicine likely started from necessity. That means there was some necessity due to which our ancestors find out or discovered some methods to cure these diseases or injuries or infections. Early humans suffered from injuries, infections, and diseases and began experimenting with plants and minerals around them. Then they started experimenting. They learned mostly by trial and error. When there were trials, and which may come like an error, or it could be a success. For example, if an herb reduced fever or pain, its use was remembered and passed down orally. That means if the fever or pain is reduced, then it will be passed down orally, or in or if it is a failure, then it will not be passed on. Interestingly, animals also played a role in these discoveries. For instance, dogs eat certain grasses to induce vomiting and cleanse their stomachs. Monkeys use specific leaves to heal wounds. Observing such behaviors helped humans identify healing plants. In India, several indigenous systems of medicine evolved over centuries. Like in Ayurveda, it is the oldest and most comprehensive system. Siddha, it is the mainly practiced in South India, especially Tamil Nadu. Then Unani system, which was introduced from Greece via Persia and Arabia. Then there is yoga and naturopathy, focusing on body balance and natural healing. Other countries developed their own systems too, like Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Japanese and Korean therapies, and Tibetan medicine. Then let's talk about Ayurveda. Then what is Ayurveda? What is the definition of Ayurveda? Like we are talking about the Ayurveda, then what does it stands for? Ayurveda combines two Sanskrit words basically. Ayu means life and Veda means knowledge. We can clearly see that Ayu means life and Veda means knowledge. So literally Ayurveda means the knowledge of life or longevity. Knowledge of or longevity. Knowledge of life or longevity. It teaches us how to live a healthy, balanced life physically, mentally, and spiritually. It touches our body in every way. Like it will touch our body physically. It will teach us how to be healthy mentally and how to be healthy spiritually. So, what is the scope of Ayurveda? Ayurveda has been practiced continuously from the Vedic period to modern times. It remains one of the India's official system of medicine recognized by the government. Ayurveda does not treat the disease alone, it treats the whole person. It considers diet, lifestyle, emotions, and environment as part of health. What is the preventive nature of the Ayurveda? It aims to prevent disease by maintaining balance. Like it will come with the treatment comes only when prevention fails. Like if the prevention is failed, then they will give us the treatment. Dynamic and adaptive. Ayurveda adapts to local resources. If a plant is unavailable, another with similar properties can be substituted. That means in the absence of one plant, another plant with the similar properties can be used, can be utilized. And there is a scientific development also. Today, Ayurvedic drugs undergo clinical trials, and organizations like the Central Council of Ayurvedic Research and Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Committee work to ensure standardization. History and origin of Ayurveda. In ancient tradition, Ayurveda was said to be divinely revealed. Here is how the knowledge was transmitted. like if we talk about the how the knowledge of Ayurveda was transferred from our ancestors to the modern human being, then Lord Brahma, he is the creator, first perceived the suffering of mankind. Then he shared his knowledge with Surya, the sun god. Surya passed it to the Ashwani Kumars. Ashwani Kumars. The Ashwani Kumars taught Indra, who was the rain god, the god of rain, or we can say that. Then Indra finally uh, taught sage Bhardwaja, making him the first human to receive the divine science. Bhardwaja passed it to the Punarvasu Atreya, the founder of the school of medicine, and Dhanvantri, the founder of the school of surgery. The symbolic meaning behind this divine chain is beautiful. The sun represents the source of all the energy and light, hence, it also represents the knowledge. Ashwani Kumars represent the rays of sunlight spreading the health. That means it. What is the sun? The rays of sunlight uh, are useful to maintain the health conditions. Indra, as the rain god, nourishes the earth, symbolizing the life giving nature of medicine. So, these are some of the out overviews about the Ayurveda. If if we talk about, it is all about Ayurveda, then we can also uh, focus on some of the, just like Charak and his contribution. Charak and his contribution towards the uh, Ayurveda, in Ayurveda. Now let's discuss Charak, the greatest physician of Ayurveda. He probably lived around 800 BC or later. 800 BC or later, during the reign of King Kanishka. Charak revised the earlier text written by Agnivesha, a pupil of Atreya. And created the Charak Samhita, a masterpiece over 8,000 verses in Sanskrit. Charak Samhita consists of 8 major sections like sthanas, covering pathology, anatomy, diagnosis, pharmacology, and treatment. His influence lasted nearly 2000 years, and his text was translated into Persian, Arabic, Tibetan, and many modern languages. Charak Samhita was contained 8 sthana sections, which contains 120 chapters. The distribution of the chapters is like Sutra Sthana, General Principles with 30 chapters, Nidasthana, Pathology with 8 chapters, Viman Sthana, Specific Determination with 8 chapters, Sarir Sthana, Anatomy with 8 chapters, Indriya Sthana, Sensorial Prognosis with 12 chapters, Chikitsthana, Therapeutics with 30 chapters, Kalpasthana, Pharmaceutics and Toxicology with 12 chapters, Siddhisthana, Success in Treatment with 12 chapters, which also includes Panchkarma principles. Now talk about the of significance of the Charak and his study. It was scientific and reason based. Yukti Vyapsarya, influential for nearly 2 millennia, translated into many languages. That means his work was translated into many languages at that time also. Then there was the Sushruta. He was also known as the father of surgery. Sushruta is considered the father of surgery not only in India but perhaps in the world. He lived in Varanasi and was a student of King Divodasa Dhanvantri. His famous text Sushruta Samhita describes 300 surgical procedures, 125 surgical instruments, and classification of 8 types of surgeries. Shushrut's remarkable contribution include reconstructive surgery, rhinoplasty, repairing a severed nose using skin grafts, ophthalmic surgeries such as cataract removal, detailed anatomy and surgical training methods. He advised using fruits, animal bladders, and dead bodies for practice. His work was later translated into Arabic and influenced medical practices across Persia and Europe. Hence, he is truly a pioneer of ancient surgical science. Sushruta Samhita was classic treatise on surgery which was written in Sanskrit. It has mainly two parts. One was Purva Tantra and another was Uttara Tantra. So Purva Tantra has 5 sections containing 120 chapters. 5 sections were Sutra Sthana 46 chapters, Nidan Sthana 16 chapters, Sarir Sthana 10 chapters, Kalp Sthana 8 chapters, Chikit Sthana 40 chapters. Then there was Uttara Tantra, which has 4 sections with 66 chapters. One was Salakya, another was Kaya Chikitsa, then there was Kumar Bhritya, then there was Bhuta Vidya. His contribution was very much vast. He classified surgery into 8 types, and like that, his major contribution was reconstructive surgery. And other notable Ayurvedic physicians were also like Jivaka, Nagarjuna, Vagbhatta, Madhavkara, Sarngadhara, Bhava Misra. These were also some Ayurvedic physicians whose contributions were so much in the Indian history of medicine. Then there are Panch Mahabhutas. What are Panch Mahabhutas basically? Panch Mahabhutas are the 5 elements, uh, 5 fundamental elements that make up all matter in the universe according to Indian philosophy and Ayurveda. The term Panch Mahabhutas comes from a Sanskrit word in which the Panch means 5, Mahabhutas means great or fundamental elements. What the core principles of the Panch Mahabhutas is that the universe and all living beings are composed of 5 basic elements, and another one is macrocosm, that is universe, and microcosm, that is human and living creatures shares the same ingredients. That means everything is made up of same type of ingredient. Then there are 5 elements. What are these 5 elements? First one is Akash. Akash means space. It is associated with space, and the function is sound and hearing. Provides room for existence, seen in body cavities, pores, and channels related to the sense of hearing basically. Then there is Vayu, that is air, which represents motion. All forms of movement like breathing, blinking, nerve impulses connected to the sense of touch. Agni, that is fire. It is a symbol of transformation like digestion, vision, metabolism. It is related to sight. Then there is up. Up means water, which represents fluidity. Fluidity like saliva, plasma, mucus, and other body fluids. And it is connected to taste basically. Then there is Prithvi. Prithvi means earth, which it is related to that it provides structure and stability, like bones, muscles, nails, and hair. It is associated with smell. These five elements exist in both macrocosm universe and microcosm, that is our body. When they are in balance, we experience health and harmony. Then there are Saptadhatus. Saptadhatus are, what are Saptadhatus? These are seven fundamental tissues in Ayurveda. According to Ayurveda, our body is sustained by seven fundamental tissues known as Saptadhatus. Each one nourishes the next in sequence, and all are derived from the food that we eat. First one is Rasa, plasma or lymph. The nutrient fluid or plasma that nourishes our body is Ras. It represents plasma, lymph, and other nutritional fluids. Then there is Rakt. Rakt means red. Red, it denotes blood carrying fire or energy that invigorates the mind and body. Then there is mamsa. Mamsa means muscle tissues basically. It literally means flesh. It represents muscles providing physical strength and courage. Then there is meda, that is fat or adipose tissue. Meda means fat. It refers to adipose tissues which store energy and provides cushioning. Then there is asthi. Asthi means bone. It forms the skeletal system, giving structure and support. Then the sixth one is majja. Majja, marrow or nervous tissues. Majja means marrow. It includes bone marrow and nerve tissues, controlling coordination in our body. Seventh is shukra. Sukra means reproductive tissues. Sukra is literally means semen, which is responsible for vitality and creation of life. Any imbalance in these dhatus affects health. For instance, poor rasa dhatu leads to fatigue and weakness. So basically these are the seven elements or fundamental elements out of which our body is made up of. Then there is another then there is another topic which we have to read about, and it is Tridoshas, the three humors. The three dosha theory is one of the most important concepts in Ayurveda. It explains that three vital energies, Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, govern all physical and mental processes in our body. What means air and space, which controls body movement, circulation, respiration, and nerve impulses. When balanced, when our what is balanced, it gives creativity and energy. When the what of the body is disturbed, it causes anxiety, dryness, or insomnia. Second one is pit or pitta. It is composed of fire and water. It governs metabolism, digestion, and transformation. When the pitta of the body is balanced, it gives intelligence and sharpness. But when the pitta is imbalanced, it causes anger, ulcers, or skin problems. Third one is kapha. It water and earth. Water and earth. It governs, it provides structure, stability, and lubrication. Basically, it is derived from up and prithvi. Up means water and prithvi means earth. It governs structure, lubrication, cohesion, and tissue formation. There are five types of kapha. First one is bodhak, second is kledak, third one is tarpak, and fourth one is sleshak, and fifth one is avlambak. Let's talk about bodhak. Bodhak is related to taste and acceptability of food, related to mouth. Ledak, that is stomach lining, which protects from pitta. Third one is Tarpak. It is related to brain and spinal cord. It provides peace and contentment. Fourth one is Sleshak. It is related to joint lubrication. Fifth one is Avlambak. It is related to thorax and pelvis, which provides lubrication of vital organs. What are the qualities of cough? Qualities is cold, heavy, slow, steady, soft, oily. Physical. What are the physical traits of the cough person? Well built, good stamina, radiant skin, calm and steady. Balance and health. When the three doshas are in equilibrium, the body mind complex is healthy. Imbalance, excess, or deficiency leads to disease. So, it was all about the today's session. These were the topics that we have covered right now. To summarize, Indian medicine heritage is one of the richest in the world. Our ancestors not only used plants for healing but also developed a complete health philosophy through Ayurveda. So, what is the lesson that we get from this lecture? It is that nature and health are interconnected. Medicinal plants are our oldest companions in maintaining wellness. So, that's all for the today's lecture. Uh, so, the plants are the original pharmacists of the world. In their leaves, roots, and flowers lie the cures for the body, mind, and soul. So, thank you very much for having patience and listening, learning through these lectures. We will come with the next lecture very soon. Thank you very much.